This woman has paid for 9 flights for her boyfriend, and she still hasn't met him face to face. 4 years of chatting through text messages and sending $50,000 to receive excuse after excuse.
How many times has he missed a flight?
He missed them all.
Wow.
Strap in as we figure out the truth behind this internet love.
Real quick, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your comment and like could help stop someone from being scammed. Let's get into it.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi.
Tell us about yourself.
54, and I live in Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania. I love the thrift shop. And I've always had this obsession with time and clocks. I don't know, it's just a thing. And now I'm in school. I have one more semester. I'm going through medical coding and billing.
So you know a bit about the internet and technology.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Before her online dating journey, Kelly went through a rough divorce.
He was a very heavy narcissist, and he saw my gullibility, I guess, and he took it as far as he could. And as soon as we were married, it was not even a month into it, he was just, I didn't make his lunch right. I couldn't fold his clothes right. He hated where he lived. He was living in my trailer that I owned. Probably say after the first year, he was starting to show his true colors. I had it with him, and it felt like a 350-pound weight was lifted off my shoulders. Best thing I ever did.
Have you dated anyone since your ex-husband?
I had dates here and there. I did that cesspool POF thing, and through this cesspool, that's where I met Frank.
Who reached out to who?
He reached out to me. Hello, how are you? My name is Frank, and he explained about himself. His name was Frank Marcus, originally from Switzerland. I replied with, hi, nice to meet you also.
Describe to me what his Plenty of Fish profile looked like. Do you remember what he had in his bio? How many photos he had?
Photo only was like 2 photos. Both of them were business suits. One was at like a junction, like a convention, and he was standing there and he got an award. The other one was just of his mother before she passed. They were, I guess, at a home or something. He was there. His profile was like wanting to connect with somebody, very businesslike, clean cut, tall, very masculine, good-looking man. His wife died, as he said. He also showed me a picture of his son. I liked him. I thought he was attractive. I liked the fact that he was different in the fact that he was European. He was older, more mature. He listened to what I was saying, and we had the same connection, the same thoughts. He understood where I was coming from. It wasn't about like what I looked like or anything else, about who I was and what I was going through in life. He told me about his wife and what he was going through, and that he was an independent, business person who did construction, and then he happened to mention that he had a lot of money and he had 2 houses in Switzerland. Just a bunch of stuff that I wasn't really interested in. He wanted to have somebody in his life. It was been a long time. He thought that I had that persona he was looking for. Someone who's open and caring and giving to have in his life.
You guys have been talking for how long?
It's been about 4 years now. It was just a lot of emotional stuff that we talked about personally, and that's how we got through our relationship. He would give me long texts about how he feels and all these feelings, and not really poems, just long text of words and sayings and what he wants, and just this big buildup of what's going to happen when he's home and how things are going to be, and this is what's going to happen. Just an overall presence when we talk to each other. It was just a good vibe,
A connection.
Yeah, connection.
Kelly and Frank would talk all the time through chats and even over the phone.
He was from Switzerland, but he had that French accent almost. And it's very hard for me to understand when they don't have the correct syllables or English language. He was telling me about this trip he was going to be taking because he was in Philadelphia, and he was bidding for this job. And it was a big job, really hoping to get it because it's something that he wanted to accomplish in his life. And he's like, well, when we get back, he's like, we'll go on our date and we'll take it from there. I'm like, okay, cool.
Up until this point, the two had been communicating for 6 months. Frank ended up landing a huge contract working on a road with his crew in Turkey. But then the unexpected happened.
Why was he arrested?
He made bad decisions with this job that he got. Him and I have had discussions about his attitude towards these workers that he hired. And he'd be like, well, these people are nothing. They're peasants. And like, peasants? I said, what are you, King Arthur? Final day of his construction job, they put a road in. He showed me pictures of that. I remember that. My fiance who died, he was in construction. So I knew about the millings and how to do a road. And so it looked very nice. And he couldn't access the money. So these people rioted because they didn't get paid. I said, they did a job for you. Of course they're angry. Of course they want their money. You can't call them names. And you didn't come through because of your mistakes with your bank. And now you're pissed because they're mad at you. And they ended up putting him in jail because of that, because he didn't pay the employees. He needed help paying for the lawyer. I didn't have any doubts or any fears about giving him money. I thought it was going to be a one-time deal. I get this money, the lawyer's there, I get out, I go home, boom. That's how I was. I like to help people.
That's good. I mean, that's a good trait to have, but
Not everybody's a good person though, Kelly.
So how much money did you send him for this attorney and to get out of jail?
I sold my trailer for $5,000 and I sent it all to him. I just took an ad off of Facebook Messenger and I put it up for sale with some pictures. And then I had this one guy who had a family who was willing to pay cash, which is what I needed. I sent it through a wire the first time. He did show me the check that he received that he got from it. He'd be like, I'm in jail and this is how much it costs to get out of this and blah, blah, blah. And I don't have it and da, da, da. It was never, I need X amount. It was like, I'm in this situation and I need help.
Frank claimed he was at last a free man after Kelly helped him bail out of jail. He was finished with his contract and ready to travel to meet her in person.
Next is he's out and he was staying in the hotel next to the airport.
and you paid for the plane ticket, right?
Yeah, that included the base of the lawyer and the plane ticket. So he had his ticket. He showed me the ticket. And I didn't get to hear from the day he flied out. So what I did, I decided to go to the Philadelphia airport and surprise him.
You drove 3 hours to the airport.
2.5.
So you're in the car, you're driving to the airport.
I was a little worried the fact that I didn't hear from him, but I figured just with the flight and going through customs and international flights take forever and, delays. And I parked the car, I went in, got a coffee and texted him saying, I want to let you know that I'm here at the airport waiting for you. So when you get in, please, let me know. And I was about an hour earlier before he came in. So I figured, okay, I'm a little early, that's fine. Half hour goes by, an hour goes by. And I went up to the attendant. I said, does it take long with international flights? She's like, yeah, it takes forever sometimes because they go through everybody, especially if you're coming from, across the pond. It does take a while to get through security. So I'm like, okay. So I waited and waited and waited 6 hours easily. And I went to one of the plane people and I said, when does this flight come in? He's like, it's been in for hours. So I tried calling him. I tried texting him and nothing. And then there was the fear and, what happened to him? Is he okay? Thing is, he never even boarded the plane.
How long did it take for you to hear from him?
A month.
Wow.
Yes. He's like, I got arrested again because when I went to the airport, they were checking my bag and they had me detained. And they found, I think he said coke in my bag and it wasn't mine.
Why did he have cocaine in his bag?
He claimed that the people at the hotel put drugs in his bag and he was caught with this stuff. And I swear to you, it wasn't mine because I don't do drugs. I don't know how it got there. I'm like, okay. He's like, so I never really got on the plane to fly because I was in customs in Cyprus. He didn't do drugs. He's like, I swear to you, I swear to my mother, I swear to God, I don't do this. I am not that type of person. This is just the worst luck that has happened to me. He's like, I don't understand. I'm so devastated, blah, blah, blah. Just on and on, just rambling on and on. I'm like, okay, just calm down. I asked him what the circumstances are and what's the next step in his procedure of this. And he told me that he had to go to court and help him get cleared of these charges. And that's when he had the lawyer again. And of course, the lawyer wanted money.
So how much did you send for him to get out of prison?
At that time, I was doing very well at my job, and I had very good friends who helped me, and I got the money for him to get out, to go to court and get out of jail. I had a car that was paid for, and I went to the loan against that, so it was $3,000. So he had $3,000. The non-belief is just like, he's like, I'm telling you the truth. I'm like, I know you're telling me the truth. It's just very hard when, I don't physically see you every day and you're just telling me stuff. Because now it's getting to the point where it's here and here and here and here. And just keeps growing and growing and growing.
So what happens next?
He wants money for the fee of processing the support document, which is $500, which he got.
And that was through a wire transfer?
Yes. And he showed me the certificate of what was charged with him and what they found. And he was cleared of the charges.
The case essentially got thrown out.
Yes.
So different names every single time that you were writing the money.
Every single time. There was somebody different. As the wire transfers got more and more, I didn't want to do them anymore because I'm losing too much money. So then I started with money orders. When you cancel a flight and you reactivate and it's across the seas, it's not like $5. It's like anywhere between $80 and $200, or even $800, depending on the flight. We're not talking like a $50 flight. We're talking like a $2,000 flight. Every time he tried to do that, when he canceled the flight, reactivating the ticket.
How many times has he missed a flight?
He missed them all.
How many?
9.
So $10,000 for 9 flights?
Give or take. And he said, he was just in a real state and he couldn't bear to talk to me. He was feeling so down, just to get home. That's my main course, is to get you home.
Frank had Kelly buy flights left and right, but he never seemed to make it on the plane for whatever reason. He was either sick or dealing with one of his employees. He even fought one on the job. He had every reason in the book to not get on the plane.
And he showed me a picture of that, him in the hospital with this cast or something on his leg.
Kelly had bought 10 plane tickets and Frank was still not in Philadelphia. Yet she still hopes that one day her Prince Charming will appear in person.
When's the last time you sent him money?
Last month.
How much money did you send to him in total?
Rounded off, probably about 50 grand.
How has this affected you?
I had my credit really good. I was looking to buy a house. Now it's shot to hell because I use my credit cards. I'm on disability. I don't have the job that I had before where I had extra money. So I'm on a very limited budget.
At this point, what are your feelings towards him?
I did it to myself. It's not like, someone did this and he's like, oh, give me money. No, I did it. I physically chose to do this to help him. I was dumb enough to give him that money. Every ounce of my being did not want to even send that money. Every single ounce. And I still did. And I knew what was going to happen. No calls, no nothing. I knew. He doesn't have to tell. He hasn't given me a long letter about it. I know what happened. Something. I need to know that he's a physically real person, or the physically real person is a fraud. Not about everything else. I could care less about that. That chapter is done. And it wasn't about how much riches he had and all this. It was about him.
Yeah, you cared about him.
Right.
What can we do for you? How can we help you?
I don't know if he's a real person or not. So I don't even know if he's real. I can't deal with it anymore. I want to prove that either he's a real person or he's a fraud.
We're going to get you answers and closure to all of this.
I appreciate it.
We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Peace out.
After 4 years, 9 plane tickets, and several arrests, Kelly had sent around $50,000 trying to get this man home. Our team began to dig in. We had photos of this man in these images who Frank claimed to be, his email and phone number, a vaccination document, and this flight confirmation document. We needed to prove who this man was and why he wasn't getting on these planes. Stick around until the end. We'll reveal why Frank never got on the plane, and we'll reveal who this man really is. Are you or someone else you know dating someone online and for some reason you've never met them face to face? Reach out to us. We'll give you answers. Our email is sharemystory@socialcatfish.com. Let's jump back into it. A week later, we set up a call with Kelly to go over everything that we had found.
So first of all, my name is David McClellan. This is Brianne. Kelly, how are you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. How's it been going the past week as we've been going through and looking into things?
It caught up with me because I really haven't spoken to anyone about it for a couple of years now. So it was a little bit daunting having it all come up again.
So how are you feeling about today?
I don't know. I can't even tell you how I feel. I mean, it's just a lot.
Something inside you is making you still feel that this is real, correct?
Probably somewhere in my subconscious. Half of me is like, you should just listen to your family and your friends who care about you. And then there's other half of me thinking, well, maybe this will work out.
So something that was interesting, there were 9 flights that were missed.
Mm-hmm. How many times I've paid this?
We know exactly why he didn't make any of those flights. One of the first things we looked into were the flight documents.
He sent it to me to show me that he has his ticket and this is his itinerary and this is when his flight was and just the details of what was coming up. Proof that he was going to leave.
At any point in time, did you get tired of buying airplane ticket after airplane ticket after airplane ticket?
Yeah. Every time I had to send for money, I got more and more frustrated. I'm like, it'd be one thing if I was still working. There was always something. He either got in trouble or he got sick or, after the third time, you think I'd get it. But, if you're in a different country, I know there's things that can go on that we can't control.
Is there a reason he didn't ever want you to buy the ticket directly?
He said that it's more complicated if I would have bought it than him going to the airport and having it.
So Brianne and her research team, they ran a reverse image search on the itineraries that you received. And what we actually found out is if you go into the airline and you go to book the flight, they will give you a breakdown of the itinerary. And so the breakdown of these itineraries, they were real itineraries that were broken down, except this person screenshotted the itinerary. And at the very bottom under passenger details, they photoshopped their details underneath. So every single one of these was real. They just went to the website, they went to book, they saw the total, and then they added their passenger details underneath. If you go and actually book the flight, this is not what the final itinerary looks like once you do it.
Okay.
The other part of this is you'll usually have a confirmation number once you book the flight, and none of these had a confirmation number.
Oh, of course not.
The next piece of information I'd like to discuss with you was the travel test certificate that you had sent over.
He was set to leave. Everything was clear. He was promising me all this, blah, blah, blah. This time it'll work, blah, blah, blah. And the day that he's supposed to go, I got the same runaround of no phone call, no nothing. And then he's like, I have like, well, you were supposedly in this jail, so, why wouldn't you have it? And he couldn't leave until he paid that bill.
We ran reverse image searches on this document and we were able to find a document that was very, very similar to this same exact document. And so what we were able to find was that this test certificate was also photoshopped.
For someone who says he doesn't Photoshop, he certainly is a liar about that.
There's a lot of other areas within the document that just aren't making sense. The address follows the vaccination status. And when we took a sample of a valid test certificate, it did not match to this document that he had sent.
Nothing surprises me anymore, not with this, because I have bad luck. I'll admit that. But I have never met anybody who has this bad of luck trying to get out of the country.
He's had bad luck more than 9 times over the past year and a half.
I trusted him, which was totally stupid. And it's like here I'm still giving out basically my paycheck or my school reimbursement to him. And he's like, oh, everything's going to be fine. It's going to be fine this time. I'm like, well, what about last time? What? That was just a flim? Keep saying I'm done, but yet I still keep finding the money for you. At my lowest point, at my brokest point in life, in my lowest part of life, I had a stroke last year. And when I came home, I was still getting money together for him.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Our team was able to debunk every plane ticket and document that Frank sent to Kelly about the flights. She was so invested into this relationship, it became a gamble for her to get this man home so he could pay her all of her money back. Frank was still requesting more money for another plane ticket. It was time to end all of this and give her the truth about this man in these images.
David has this last piece of information that he'd like to reveal to you.
So this whole time, you thought you were talking to a man in Turkey, right?
Yeah, Northern Cyprus.
He's not in Cyprus. We found him. We know where he is. So he's a Russian politician, and he goes by the name of Owner. So this time you thought his wife had passed away, his mom passed away, he had nobody in his life. These people are not dead. They're alive, and he's posted pictures with them recently on social media.
Can I see one?
Yeah.
Yep, that's him. Motherfucker. Stupid motherfucker.
That's his mom right there.
Yes, that's his mother.
Yeah.
I had that picture a long time ago, but that's his mother. A Russian politician.
So keep in mind, Kelly, this guy is actually not part of this. So what happened is somebody actually took this person's pictures, they stole their pictures, and they reached out to you as this person's pictures with a different name.
Доброе утро, дорогие друзья. 22 февраля, вторник, на часах 8 часов утра. Я выезжаю в Череповец. Сегодня там...
That's his real voice, just so you know.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
The person I've been talking to has like a mixed, like either French or European accent. It's a mixture.
Definitely not him.
Obviously. That's his son. That's his son.
So Kelly, unfortunately, you have been involved in this romance scam.
This was rough on Kelly, but everything started to add up after we revealed who the real man in these images was. For the past 4 years, Frank had been lying to her.
I should listen to my family, my friends, but you know, bigger picture, I suppose. I'm just that type of person who has to learn things my way, I suppose, and not listen, which I have to start listening. Especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Because I honestly feel, you know, I have this trusting attitude that, you know, I give people the benefit of the doubt. I trust them until I give them a reason not to. And I think that's very dangerous, especially nowadays. I plan just to do what I did when I came home from my stroke, is just basically give it to God. And if he says, okay, I'm going with it. I don't have to like it. I fight with him quite often, but he seems to lead me in a better direction.
We're here for you. I want you to know that. Like, I know that this is very difficult. Like, I see it in your face. You know, a lot of people feel shameful because of this stuff. Like, you're not alone. Like, that's why we do what we do. Like, I mean,
It's like a big burden. It's not like, thank God, you know, somewhere in my mind I was right. What he said was just words. Obviously now it's words. Beforehand it might have been something else. Now it's just words, a bunch of BS. And now I can take that and grow from it and learn from it and not happen again.
Look, Kelly, you're moving in the right direction. You know, you came to us. We were able to investigate and research all the information. We've delivered some answers. So you're moving in the right direction.
Yes, yes I am. And I will continue to move in the right direction.
good. I'm very happy to hear that. I know Brianna is. Like I said, I mean, we're here for you. If you need anything anytime, you're more than welcome to reach out to us, okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kelly took in the truth and was able to realize that she needed to cut off communication with this fake profile. She is now trying to recover some of the financial information from her bank on the $50,000 she sent to random people around the world. Then we can start to trace where the funds went. The next step for her is to turn everything we found out over to the authorities and file a police report.